Good morning, and sorry for the technical difficulties we had earlier this morning. We were ready, we went, and we did about an hour with Marathon Mondays with Mal, and it just didn't record. I think some of you may have seen it, but we're going to do this again because this is Marathon Coach number 1261. 1261 is an X3 2-slide, and there's a lot of great innovations in this coach and a lot of great style, and we want you to see it. And that's why we're going to do it. I'm going to try and talk over the production. This is a production facility, and we don't want the guys to stop. And so we're gonna try and speak a little bit louder when we need to. So first, we're going to talk about the paint on 1261. We've got Andy Ibarra here and Jay Graham. Andy, let's talk about the paint first. Why don't you show us some of the features of the paint job on 1261 that really stand out to you, that you really enjoy doing on this one?
This one has some soft shadows, has soft bevel, has alligator, crocodile texture on it. Goes from a dark to a disappears into nothing pretty much.
Let's walk down here. One of the great features that we can see in this is that what you did was a stronger print here, and then as you move down the coach, it fades out.
Right.
Good deal. And how about some of the shadowing or the beveling that you did on here?
The shadow and the beveling were all done at the same time. This we call it hard soft shadow, which gives it a 3D look. It's got the soft shadow there, and our bevel on the silver and the darker silver.
It's beautiful. Let's move to the back of the coach here, and there's some more detail of the crocodile pattern. And one thing you'll see throughout 1261 is the crocodile pattern that is throughout from inside to the out. Really stands out under these lights. I really like it. Excellent. Cool. Anything else about the paint? I mean, how long does it take for you to do something so detailed?
This is really about a 23-day coach.
23 days.
Yeah, start to finish.
Wow. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Andy, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for all your expertise. Now, you've been with Marathon how many years?
11 years next month.
Next month, 11 years.
Yes,
a lot
sir.
of experience, and I know that you have, your crew has a lot of experience too,
Yes, sir.
and it really shows in your work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate your time. Jay Graham.
Mal.
All right, so apologizing to everybody for the technical difficulties. We're working through the Wi-Fi issues that we may have had with the live broadcast at 9 a.m., but we're back bringing this to you. And Jay, 1261, tell us about this.
This is our first 2018 X3.
Okay.
So we're excited about that. We've done got some really neat lighting elements in here, and this one has our unique pocket door shower.
Oh, I like that.
Which we'll be able to show.
I like that.
We think we're the only ones that have done that. So
Okay.
it's really neat. It's exciting. So we get to show that today. And just some really interesting interior design that Alan came up with. He's integrated the crocodile theme throughout the interior as well. So we've got some really cool interior design features that kind of set that off.
That's great.
Which is neat.
Now, you've been with Marathon 29 years?
29 years last week.
Last week was 29 years.
Seems like only yesterday.
Well, you know, I think when we get through here, we will see a lot of experience. A lot of people worked on this coach.
Yes.
And that's one thing about Marathon is that a lot of people who've been here a long time spend a lot of hours building this coach, and it's absolutely beautiful. So let's. Oh, we have a question.
Yeah, we have a question about how many gallons of paint it takes to actually paint the bus.
Well, I bet Pete Sutton could. Oh, here's
Andy,
Andy, come back up in here.
So it was Andy. How many gallons?
About 16 gallons roughly, depending on how hard you make the paint for me.
16 gallons.
That includes etch, sealer, base coat, clear coat, everything.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's a lot of paint.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Any other questions,
That's
Pete?
it so far.
Good deal, Andy. Thanks again.
Well,
Well, you want to start inside?
Let's do it.
All right. Oh boy. So this being an X, I know we talked about this earlier this morning. What's the features of this model? We talked about the height.
Yes, this has a 6-inch higher ceiling than what the H3 model has.
Okay.
You saw in the paint it has that stainless steel, that fluted stainless steel around the exterior lower.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of the a look that people who really like the X really like that polished stainless look. So that's a real big feature for some folks. The headroom has been extremely popular to our really tall clients. We have a client, I think he's 6'8", that purchased a coach, and typically at that height you're having to duck going through things. But we do things like our pocket doors are all headerless, so we maintain that ceiling height throughout the coach. There is an extra you see them like above a doorway.
For
Ours
sure.
are all flush to the ceiling, so we, even though we have the high ceiling, we try and maintain that height everywhere for those super tall customers. It's been a really popular feature for folks that are really tall. So.
Okay.
And it just makes the coach feel really spacious.
And it is.
It's just a really nice addition to our line that's typically the headroom is not an issue unless you're really tall, but
Right.
just added for the overall spaciousness of the coach.
Yeah, and it does have that feeling of spaciousness that's nice. You want to start in the cockpit and show
Sure,
us some of the
let's-
features?
We have a few newer features here.
I think I just saw you on the video up here. There you are.
Oh, that's okay. Well, one of the newer features is a GPS monitor that we actually add that pops up. So we
That's
figure, customers don't typically need to see their GPS monitor continually while they drive, only when they're places they haven't been. So we have it pop up, so when you don't need it, it's down and out of the way. That's been a really nice addition because, again, you don't have to have it there all the time. Allows the real estate for other things like our Crestron monitor.
It gives it a nice clean feel, finished feel when it's down.
Yeah,
If you don't
just
need it.
keeps the look. A newer element is this swivel snack tray, and it also has storage inside.
It's a
but
lot of room down here.
a lot of folks want a place to put snacks, or they might have their phone there. Have a nice stainless steel drink holder. Gave us a chance to just redesign. We'd had our entry cabinet for this particular model for quite a while, so it gave us a chance to redesign and update it. We've got push to open drawer fronts, which is just a different way to do it. But one thing that's nice is with those push to open, you don't have to have a pull.
Right.
So down here, where someone might hit their ankle on it, allows us to go without a pull, and then you just push to open.
They're almost like hidden drawers because you don't even think that it's a drawer, and then boom, there it is.
Right. The other thing that it allows you to do is some of the drawer pulls. We do a lot of radius cabinetry, and so pulls are typically designed, unless it's a single pull, if it's a bar type pull,
Right.
it's hard to mount on a curved surface. So the push to open allows you to not get into that conflict where there's a curved surface that makes mounting the pull difficult to do.
That's great. And all of these are bamboo, correct?
Yes, the drawers are bamboo. We do a variety though. This particular coach has bamboo. We do walnut. We've done oak.
I love this bamboo look.
It's a neat, classic, classy look.
Absolutely.
And then we line our drawer bottoms with it's an engineered leather, and so we put it in our cabinets, but it allows us to utilize rolls of, there's a certain percentage of actual cowhide in there, and it's got a little bit of, not stickiness, but non-skid.
For sure.
So when you do have items that are in the drawer that are not sliding around as much because there is a non-skid element to the
Easy to clean.
material.
So Mal and Jay, I've got somebody who'd like to know, how tall is the inside of the bus?
From floor to ceiling on this guy, it's 84 inches. So
Yeah, and if you guys have questions, feel free to ask them as we move along. Jay will answer questions as we can.
sure.
So is it the same as an H3? Because this is an X3.
It's about actually, the pencil's out to be about 5 inches more than an H3.
And does that make the H3 shorter, or is
The
it?
H3 is, yes, the H3 finishes out about 80, 79, so it's about 5 inches difference.
Is there? But there's, if I remember, there's a difference between storage between the H3 and the X.
Yes, the H3 has very tall storage bays, so you get almost another foot of storage in the underbelly. So Prevost took and they kind of split it up. You get extra headroom in the X, and then the H you have tremendous base storage. So just kind of different depending on what people are looking for. But it's tough to beat the storage on the H, but it's tough to beat the headroom on an X. It really allows us to do some more things interior wise with the height.
So Gregory Greenwood would also wanted to ask, is there less sway with the X3? And I'm assuming that, I don't know if he's talking about top heavy or...
Talking about the drivability?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, what do you think, Jay?
Well, I haven't had the opportunity to drive an X3 yet. I know from what I hear the reports of is they both just handle tremendous compared to all the other like Class A manufacturers and all the other bus chassis. That one of the things the Prevost is really known for is its ride and its drivability, and it also has a lot of safety features. So the sway, for instance, it has built-in electronic stability program, so you can't tip it over. The computer will actually keep you from oversteering to actually tip it over, and they have a really neat video that shows they have outriggers on their coach and they're trying to tip it, and the computer adjusts and it will not let you tip the coach over. So from a safety standpoint,
And one thing,
tough to beat.
we talked about that last week with Dave Bash
Sure.
on Marathon Mondays with Mal, and the drivability of it, where he referenced it to kind of like a Cadillac, where it's got the airbag system where it compensates for each side. So as far as sway, I think we could probably get a more defined answer from someone who's got more drivability, but I think the X and the H drive about the same.
Well, and we welcome, customers to come by, and this is, for instance, most customers, it's like a car, you want to drive it before you take it out. So hop in to see us at the plant, and we have both chassis available to drive, and customers can actually check it out for themselves.
Now, do these things have airbags built into the system? I have a customer that someone would like to know.
Yes, the whole chassis is on an airbag suspension.
But normally a car has dash airbags. Are these designed like that?
For
Like
safety
oh,
features?
airbags. I'm trying to remember. There's an airbag on the steering wheel, but there's no passenger side airbag.
Okay, but as far as the airbags, the other
I
normally
was
when we
speaking of
think
the
of
suspension.
RVs, airbags is suspension, and this one.
Yeah, the suspension airbags, because that's one thing that makes the ride so nice is with the airbags on the suspension. So between the axles and the chassis are airbags, so it allows you to, when you park, you can drop the air so it lowers the coach down, and it makes it more stable when you're walking, so it's not moving around, and it also
And the
lowers
leveling.
it. Yeah, it's also used for leveling. And it's been really a great, it's a great system, and we add a computerized leveling system to it, so it's a one button, hit the button and it'll automatically level the coach.
Well, let's check out a little bit more. One thing that 1261 you're going to see throughout that we've already talked about is the crocodile patterns throughout the coach. Al Christensen, who we were talking to over the last couple weeks about it, really spent a lot of time on the croc pattern. So throughout the coach, you're going to see a lot of croc patterns. So why don't you show us, we're now in the salon, show us some of the finer features of the salon.
Well, the crocodile pattern he's incorporated into the leather. This is an embossed leather, and the thing that makes that really cool from an interior design standpoint, and where the engineering really
Yep, there he is right there.
It's right on cue. There
Al,
he is.
You guys go ahead and film.
No, why don't you come on in? We're actually talking about you right now.
Oh, do I want to hear it?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
It's all good.
Come on in. Al Christensen, we were just talking about the Croc pattern, and we're talking about how it is throughout the coach. Give us kind of an overview of where this whole started with the Croc pattern.
Well, one, I like the texture of the crocodile, the back in particular, and also the blend of colors. But I found some poles and I found a lamp, and it kind of generated from that. So that was a while ago. And
So like this lamp right here?
Yes,
So you've had this lamp sitting around for a while,
I have.
and that kind of did that start kind of your idea of eventually?
Kinda, and then I found some poles that match, so it was kind of a cumulative process of finding things
It
that
was a
fit.
journey.
It was a journey,
I caught
yeah.
your other
It
episode
was
where
a journey. Yeah,
Absolutely.
So you find things that fit, and then you kind of keep those together as a package. Yeah.
Okay, and you know we'll see those poles later because I know you integrated those into the backsplash of the bath, of the water closet, in the shower. You integrated those into. It's just a lot of attention to detail.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Now tell us about these fossils because these are real, aren't they?
Yes, they are. That's an ammonite, and we also have some Orthosaurus, which is like a squid back in. It's goes up to 350 million years ago. They grow at about 6 feet long, but I found that at a store when I was decor shopping, and I kind of hung on to it, and it kind of, to me, it kind of fit with the croc a little bit. They're a little bit prehistoric looking,
And they're actual fossils.
yes, yeah, yep. And so they kind of fit with that as a decor item, and so I kind of went with a Indiana Jones type theme.
Absolutely.
Type deal.
Archaeology.
Yeah, yeah.
Archaeology.
Yeah.
It's been a long morning, right?
Yeah.
But I can see and hear the attention to detail. Even this is a croc pattern
Uh-huh.
on the frame. Here's more of the fossil down here. Here's the poles. James, you could probably see this pole right here on this drawer. And we'll see more of that when we get going through the coach. But the floors are beautiful. These are heated floors, are they not?
Yes, yes. We like to heat the stone, any stone or tile flooring. Just feels a lot nicer to the touch. And this one he integrated, is this porcelain?
Yes.
Porcelain tile, and we have our pathway that kind of makes a neat transition. Earlier we talked about the technology, and I mean that looks like real
Distressed
beach,
wood,
like
yeah.
distressed
It does.
beech wood.
Reclaimed, yeah.
And it's porcelain tile.
Well, Al, thanks for letting us
You
grab
bet.
you.
I'll run off. I'm sorry to
Thank you
interrupt.
so much.
Okay.
Good
have-
deal.
all
I'm
right.
glad you were able to jump out here. Thank you.
Sure. Let me know when you're finished.
Will do. What you want to show everybody the lighting on here, Jay?
We have some neat lighting elements, and so the window styles you see, they're currently the lights are on, and we'll turn them off. So I turned off the center, then I turned off the edge.
Now these are called styles, right?
We call them window styles, the
Okay.
divisions, the dividers between the windows, and I think it's really incredible how those outside stones are a gray taupe color that you wouldn't know that when you lit them, they would turn kind of an orange
That's so cool.
hue. It's really, I think it's really interesting. Again, speaks to Al's creativity to know that stone. I wouldn't even have known that stone was back. It was translucent. You
Right.
could even see through it.
You would think it was a stone.
Yeah, it was just solid, and it wouldn't let light through. So
So you could turn off all the lighting in here and then just put those up.
You
That
could.
would look really cool.
you could. Another neat element is right now we have this is what we call our oval ceiling design, and James probably noted you can see something there behind it's a woven wood fabric.
It's kind of like a scrim.
Yeah, and if I hit the right button, well, I turn the accent off, so there's center lights. It's an
Skylight.
actual, yeah, it's an actual, so that's an LED panel, an edge-lit LED panel, and that's an actual photograph.
Wow.
So we do that here. We have a large format printer that prints right on translucent film, and we just overlay it over the top of the lighted panel, and it simulates a skylight. And so it's a unique picture because you have to get it looking straight up. So
Right.
quite often Al will tell Pete, hey, the sky's right for some photographs, and Pete will have to
I heard them
lay
talking
on his
about
back
that.
or set his tripod up to shoot straight up, so it has the feel of being in the sky.
An actual photograph used on the ceiling.
Right.
That's great.
And then one of the neat things the way this is done is that if a person doesn't, the sky isn't really their thing,
Right.
those panels, we can exchange them in a few hours. You can actually pop the panels down, unbolt them, hinge them down, replace the film, put them back up, and have a whole different pattern up there. We do simulated granite, simulated marbles.
Okay.
We've done scenes of the night sky where it has the moon and stars.
Oh, wow.
So we've done a variety of different elements, and what works out really well is because we print our own.
Sure.
We can, if the customer finds an image that they want, we can throw that image on the film. So
Okay.
it's worked out pretty cool how we can change it as we need to and incorporate different elements to it can completely change the interior design.
First time we've done this?
This is not the first time actually.
Okay.
But it's the first, since every coach is unique,
Yes.
this is the first one we've done that particular woven wood on.
okay.
So this one's a little bit more translucent, so you see more. We did a previous one was more of a wicker look.
Yes.
And so it was more obscure behind it, which again gave it a whole different look, but gave you that feel of a skylight. So we've done a variety of the where our engineered fabrics run in. The fabric actually looks like snakeskin,
Yeah, if you can see this, James.
but because it comes on a roll, you don't have a bunch of seams where you'd have to stitch together different snake skins.
And this is like a snake skin in itself too. So you got two different. Yeah, that's great.
They have really opened up interior design wise what they can do with fabrics now. They've made cork into a fabric.
Cork?
Cork.
Wow.
We had a coach recently, or one coming up. We had, in fact, we have one coming up. It's cork material. That's, I don't know how they do it. It's shaved really thin, put
Wow.
on fabric, and the frames are wrapped.
And it's
in a
real
cork
cork.
and it's real cork.
Wow.
So it's amazing how they've done that.
Well, let's move into the galley here.
We've in our coaches we try and conceal as much of the galley appliances as possible. So we always do our Fisher Paykel dish drawer we can put our own front on. We usually talk about our Crestron remote control, which is an iPad integrated into an iPad.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn on the color select so people can see that these
Oh.
lights
Oh,
rotate.
yeah.
We got
Good
someone
idea.
who was
Yeah.
thinking, Ken, you changed to a different color.
Good idea, Pete.
I've had that question before. They didn't like the color
Is
it
it
was
flickering?
on, and
Okay, so for those who see the flicker isn't actually with your eyes, it's the interaction with the camera. So I'll let it switch to another color and then I'll turn it back off. There we go. I'll leave it on purple.
Good choice.
that is because that's one of the interior design accents that Alan is.
Yeah.
Pete Sutton, ladies and gentlemen.
So the iPad has really changed how customers interact with the coach. And so the thing that this does, and this is we recently redesigned the layout of our screen and such, but what this does, its claim to fame is it has replaced an entire drawer full of remote controls.
That's so cool. I took a picture last week to show my wife how many electronics with remotes are in the coach.
Yeah,
And we still furnish this to the customers, but everything is integrated into this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been huge for customer usage. I mean, we try and make the coaches. There's so much equipment, and there's so many systems that just puts it all in a one-touch place.
Excellent.
It's really been. I mean, it's revolutionized the way customers have to use the coach because it's.
And how many of these are in the coach?
We have 3.
So one here, one in the bedroom, and one in the bay.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Really?
And then those are the remote units. The front one is a hardwired Crestron screen.
Okay.
So, which is important because if your Wi-Fi were to go out, for instance,
right,
you have a hardwired version at the dash that will control everything.
Okay. And I believe we had a question come in to ask about where the air conditioning comes into the coach. Can you talk about that?
Well, if you see where the light is, there's a space there, and the air conditioning ducts are actually, I can feel, I'm not tall enough to see, but I can feel a slot there. The air conditioners are placed along the center, and then they're ducted out to the side, and then they blow out through this recess. And what's really important about that is when you run the room in, the air blows over the top of the room and falls into the coach. Before, a lot of air conditioning vents you'll see coming straight down. You run the room in, and while you're traveling, the air conditioning blows on top of the room. It doesn't circulate in as much. It also makes it for a really quiet system because you don't have a register right there where it's coming right out of the unit, so the sound has a chance to dissipate, and it makes for a nice, quiet, even air distribution.
And it's real stylish. It's hidden.
Yeah, it works out really well.
There's no vents up here.
Exactly.
It's hidden. It's really nice. Yeah. Very cool. So you can still use this vent when the slide is in.
It's gonna the air's gonna blow over the top of it and fall into the room.
It's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So how about in the galley here? Let's you showed us the Fisher Paykel dishwasher or dish drawer.
The hidden dish drawer, but we also have the hidden refrigerator.
Ah, yes. Go ahead and show us that.
And this is a Sub-Zero refrigerator, and we've incorporated in these decorative panels.
Gives it a nice finished look. You don't know where the
It does. I've been at
where the fridge
shows.
is.
I've been at shows, and customers didn't realize that was the refrigerator. And so it's been a nice feature. We've even gotten to the point where we've lighted the recesses for customers that would like a little additional accent lighting. And we hide our cooktop underneath a flush cover, and we have our covers actually store. So the sink has covers, and they're stowed in this nice bamboo holder underneath there.
And you already mentioned this. It's a synthetic leather.
I call it engineered leather.
Engineered leather,
because they take actual cowhide and they engineer it into rolled goods, so it comes on a roll.
Absolutely.
Allows us to, as you can see from the ceiling, very large panels with less seams.
And I like this because it's so cleanable. Your dishes are not going to move around, and you can clean this very easily.
It's worked out really well. As I said, it kind of has a non-skid surface, so for dishes and canned goods and such, it's going to be
that
really
Croc
nice.
pattern.
So Jay, I've got a question.
Oh, yes, sir.
Is all the leather in the coach synthetic, or is there a difference between what you're using?
When we say leather, it is true leather. These crocodile, this is an embossed cowhide. So
that's a real leather.
That's a real leather. Some of these sheet goods they're fabrics, they're engineered products that are simulated to look like that.
So we have both in here. We
do.
have actual Italian leather, which and as well as some more synthetic.
Right. The sofa's leather. The backs are fabric. It's what we call our reveal style sofa. And here's where Alan he's the master of flexibility. So those back panels are actually, if you didn't care for that fabric, they're Velcroed on. You simply unvelcro them, go rewrap different panels.
These are right here?
Those are Velcroed on, so they're replaceable. So if they soil, or you prefer a different pattern, or maybe you want all leather, you just unvelcro them, and they'd stitch up some leather ones and just Velcro them back into place.
My wife will appreciate that I'm putting the pillows in properly.
So we also have a question about how many BTUs on the air conditioning.
They are 15,000 BTU units, and there's 4 of them. So it's actually more cooling than most homes have.
Oh my!
Like a 2,000 square foot home, because
4 air conditioning.
Right, the heat load on a coach is pretty intense because when you're down in the desert and your entire coach is exposed to the sun, it gets pretty warm. So
absolutely.
There's quite a bit of heating capacity there, and you can run 2 of them going down the road just off your inverters, but if you can run all 4 of them if you start your generator while you're going down the road, or when you plug in, you can turn everything on.
Sure.
So
We also have a question about what kind of wood is on the cabinets.
This is a laminate, so it's again, the technology helped us out. It's a super realistic wood grain, kind of Al could probably give you, for me it kind of looks like a beechwood sort of tinted cabinetry, but the thing that the laminate does is we can do grain match. Whereas if it's natural veneer, it's difficult to, when you run into doors and drawers sometimes, to get the grain to match, because we hold such tight tolerances. You'd have to trim it here, and then keep your piece. While with a repeatable pattern, we can use different pieces, but keep the grain so it all lines up. Because for us, that's one of the marathon signatures is grain match and all the laminates.
And if anyone's interested, you can go back to Marathon Mondays with Mal, the first episode. We were in the cabinet shop talking about grain match, and that was a really cool thing to see, and the importance of it, and the usage of really lightweight woods, and then the grain matching, which is pretty incredible that we do. It takes a lot of time and effort to find the proper grains to match up.
It is, and this radius cabinetry you see, we rely on about 12 years ago we got a CNC computer operated router, and most of the cabinetry now it would be too labor intensive to try and build it by hand because of all the intense, if anybody, for all the cabinet makers out there who've had to lay out complex curves,
yes,
you have to plot points, and it takes hours to do these. We can send a CAD file to our router, and these parts all get cut out in just a few minutes.
Very precise.
Yeah, yes,
absolutely.
An entire cabinet like this, cut all the parts out in 5 or 10 minutes. It is just completely changed what we're able to do.
There's a lot of work.
Yes,
that goes into polishing it up, I'm sure, but instant hot.
Instant hot and cold.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
How about the storage?
The dinette we redesigned a few years ago to try and maximize storage and put it down to the level so it sits even with all the other furniture. In years past, it was up on a slide floor, so this room actually has a raised floor that the sofa and the dinette sit on. So
right.
We brought it all down, allows you to put folding chairs up here to have everybody at the same level. We incorporated storage behind the dinettes, the backs.
I like that.
Which is kind of unique. We did a custom bottle storage for customers' wine in a recent coach. That was pretty neat.
That's cool.
And then we continue with storage underneath, so all the way down, storage underneath this dinette, trying to utilize all those nooks and crannies to get the customer as much storage as possible.
And all that storage up top too. There's a lot of storage around the dinette.
And we've included pantry pullouts as well, and the pull-out shelves for food.
Yeah, there's a lot of drawers right there.
Well, we found that people like to take as much stuff as they can with them. You'd mentioned lightweight materials.
Yes.
So the lighter we make the coach, the more
you can put in it.
You can load it with the customer's items. So that's a big issue for us to try and get them as light as possible to give our customers as much storage as possible.
For sure.
Mal and Jay, I have somebody who wants to know: is there a computer workstation?
Not necessarily. Well, I guess we could say that there is right here. One of my favorite features is this angled out drawer. This is, it's got a plug right here. If you can get down there, James, you can see that you've got plug-in capabilities right there.
As well as USB plug-in down.
USB plug-in. But yeah, this would be probably a good workstation, or
That's
you could
our
work.
most common one.
Okay.
The drawer underneath people use for a file, they'll use for a file drawer or a printer.
Okay.
People put a printer scanner.
Now, can you do something custom, Jay, and make it completely the way you like it if you wanted?
We have done, if you can think of it, we've probably done it in that area. We've had them taller and put file drawers. We've actually made laptop pull-outs, so there was nothing to unhook. You just sit down, pull the drawer out, the laptop's right there, flip it open, work on it right there. We've had large ones, small ones, but that's one of the things we're going to work when the customer comes in. We're going to find out what their requirements are, and we'll just build to suit whatever they may
Nothing
come
we
up
can't
with.
do.
So we have one other question: does the generator run off the main fuel tank?
Yes, it does not have its own. It shares the other one, but there is once you get to a certain level, it can't take all of your fuel in your tank for your engine. So
Cool.
I like this storage drawer right back here. You could have your laptop and all the supplies you need for it in there, and then just pop it right into here.
we've done custom laptop holders for that bin.
Oh, that's cool.
So instead of putting it in the bag, there's a little slot to slide it into.
You could put a laptop in there.
You could.
In the magazine rack?
Yes, yes.
Like that. Well, should we head into the one of the probably my favorite feature of this coach?
Yes, this we think we may be, we don't know for sure, we think we may be the only ones with a pocket door, glass pocket door shower, where the door actually goes into the pocket. But this shower has been extremely popular. It's a larger shower. It's
there's the Croc integrated into the tile.
yes, those are actually cabinet poles.
No kidding.
So they have a standoff so you can get your fingers behind it. Normally those were cut off.
Okay.
And then because the edges have scallops in them, all those tiles that they're inset to were water jetted to fit. So they fit the exact profile of
So
the
those
floor.
were the larger drawer poles.
Yes.
Integrated into there, and here they are in here too. On
Yes,
the backsplash
you
here.
put them in the backsplash.
And here's the smaller poles right here on the actual drawer.
And while you're right there, this is pretty neat. Let's turn the light off. The sink is backlit, and it incorporates that same kind of a reptile theme to it.
And now that changes with the ceiling?
Right. So we're stopped on purple right now.
Okay. So if we rotate it, can we rotate it
Let me find the
to
color.
a different color?
There you go. Now it should cycle.
Yep, change into blue.
That's a pretty common question that we've gotten. I don't really prefer the color that we've stopped it on, and we say just wait a second, and we'll turn it on, and
Here it goes to teal.
So if you don't like it to change, yeah, you can just stop it on any color that you prefer.
Oh, that's cool. So both sinks right here in the water closet, and then in the bedroom, they are integrated with the lighting. That's cool. So this pocket drawer,
Yeah.
a lot of room in here.
Well, the other thing is it's got a seat. There's the towel's actually sitting on a seat right now.
Sure.
Which has been again another popular feature. You could sit down to wash, feet and legs, and it's got this integrated shelf with the travel rods. So
James, can you see this shelf in here? This is nice. So your stuff doesn't fly
no, you
around.
can just leave your. I mean, customers know that a lot of they have to get their coach travel ready before they take off.
Yep.
And in this particular case, you could leave your shampoo bottles and such on there.
Rain.
The rain shower head, again, a really popular feature. It's integrated into the bath fan, so the bath fan's up above it, and we flush it in there, so it's as integrated and out of the way as you can get it. And let's see if we can get the door to operate, so we can prove that it is, in fact, and part of what's on the door, I don't know if the video's picking it up, is a wiper. So when the door goes back in after you've taken a shower, it's going to be wet, and that wiper will squeegee off the door when it goes back into the pocket.
That's great.
And it's air powered, and there's a switch on the inside, and there's also an emergency override switch. So if for something were to happen and it
cleans the glass.
cleans the glass.
It squeegees off the water. So what if water gets trapped? You want to clean the glass.
So you can clean it, and you can clean it when it's out, but there's a little portion that's still into the pocket. So we have a service access point that pops open. There's actually a gutter or a drip tray in the bottom. So as the water runs off the door, it lands in that, and it's at an angle so it would drain back into the shower. In reality, there isn't a whole lot of water once that squeegee squeegees it off, but if there were to be any water, it would fall into the tray, and then you can close the door and then reach in there, and if there was any moisture, any mildew that happened to accumulate, you could wipe it off with the rag.
Now I'm feeling a bit tropical right here because I see an aquarium across from me here.
Well, I guess we have a little issue there. TVs in the water closets, that's been a marathon item for quite a few years now. A lot of customers, we've heard feedback that said, I probably won't watch TV in the water closet.
Sure.
But we like to say that it's not a TV, it's a display. It's currently displaying today. We made it an aquarium. So.
And for you down in Texas, this is actually an aquarium in Galveston that got selected for today's video shoot. So what else could you put up there?
You could do family photos, a slideshow. You could
cool.
do artwork. I've heard some upscale homes now, they'll put high resolution screens in so they can have.
Bill Gates did that.
You can have a Van Gogh day and a Picasso day or whatever, and have everything rotate. So it's more than a TV. It's really nice. It's a display that can just be used for all kinds of different things. Again, only limited by your imagination and
For sure.
and things you'd want to do.
Okay.
We've kept the pocket door theme. There's actually pocket doors that close off the water closet. Now we like pocket doors because we think, like for instance, at home when you're home, do you leave your bathroom doors open or shut? You usually leave it open unless you're using the bathroom.
Right.
Well, we have that same. We like that same usage here. A lot of companies will do a swing door. Well, the door has to remain closed.
Right.
Except for you can't leave it open because it blocks the aisleway. This makes the coach a lot more livable. You can leave the doors open. Even the shower door, you can leave the shower door
open.
Because we thought that'd be a great spot for a pet bed in the evening.
That's a good idea.
Put your pet bed in there. It's out of the way. Or a litter box. We've had customers with cats. And they'll have litter boxes. I had a cat with a litter box, and we had it in the tub because he sprayed litter everywhere.
Of course, kicking it
up.
That's a great idea.
You can leave them open or closed.
And it adds dimension to this area, so it's not so closed off.
It does.
You close both doors, it's closed off. It's just a hallway, but you open it up, you got 3 rooms within each other.
Plus, even though the glass is clear,
Yep.
it really allows you to see the really neat interior design element. Technology and just the way we couldn't do it right, and so that was one that Alan and I have been excited about for several years, to be able to actually do it with the technology available and do it right.
Well, we did a great job on it because
fun.
it's beautiful. All right. The bedroom.
Moving to the bedroom, it's a 130-inch slide. It goes out 24 inches. Makes the bedroom nice and spacious.
Yeah, there's a lot of room in here. Now, you have the bed up right now. Okay.
We do, and nice thing about the bed up, you've got another 12 inches of aisle space.
Yeah, there's a lot of room here.
And it gives you a really nice backrest for viewing the flat panel television. This, we did it, I think we did one coach as an option, and then we started putting it in every coach. It's been, everybody wants it because it, well, let's run the bed down, and you can see how much aisle space it takes up. And it is a king size bed.
It is a king. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 76-inch wide bed. Now it's still spacious, but the slide room is out.
Yes.
As soon as you run that slide, what it allowed us to do is that in the past, that was one of our little thin, what we call our Wayne's Wall storage bins.
Right.
It's only about 4 inches wide. Well, now that allowed us to put a drawer back. So we put drawers there, so the bed can be right up against it, and then when the room is in, the bed's up against it, you run the bed up. Now you've still got an aisleway to get back to the rear closet.
That's great. More crocodile theme on the sconces over here.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, he's really found so many creative ways to use it.
So what do we got over here? A closet?
This is a hanging closet.
When looking at this coach last week, this was one of my favorite things. So.
Oh, yeah, the iron.
It's a magnet, right?
We have magnets behind the laminate because we feel like if you were parked, a lot of our customers park for several months at a time at a luxury RV park. You don't want to have to unstrap the travel strap is strictly for driving.
Yes.
So with the magnet, you don't have to strap it up every time you use it.
You can just pop it right on there. There it sticks.
Right, and some people may not want may say I don't really iron in my coach. It really quick can pull those components off and then use that for you put shelves in there or just allow more space for your clothing.
And I like how this is recessed.
keeping it out of the way so you're not going to drag it off the wall accidentally. And then we've kept with the closet, the aired pocket door theme for the closet, which there goes Mal. Again, because now if you want to use your, let's say you're dressing and you're not sure what you're going to wear, you can leave the door open and it's not in your way.
Right.
Because the swing door is open and it's kind of in the way.
More drawer storage.
Pull out the bottom one. So that bottom drawer, see the depth, it actually goes underneath the shower seat.
Oh.
So those are some, we're trying to, as I said earlier, trying to get every nook and cranny that we can.
It's like Disneyland.
Utilize every space we possibly can. So it's the, we call it, it's a Mary Poppins drawer. If you've ever seen the movie where she has a purse.
Yes.
She's pulling lamps and stuff
everything
out
out of it.
It's the Mary Poppins drawer.
Well, and I just brought up Disneyland. Disneyland, they build on top of each other to get stuff into such a small area of Orange County. Pete, do we have any questions coming up?
We do. We have a question from someone who would like to know if they wanted to come see us at an RV show, what do we attend? You want me to try and take that one?
I mean, you're the head of marketing. Let's talk about it.
All right. So Tampa Super Show we do once a year. We do CSQ events, which is down in Los Angeles.
Well, and you just got back from India, last week?
Yeah, those tend to not be open to the public. We do a lot of events. If you were to call us, we could certainly get you in through the gate. But we do quite a few of the Barrett Jackson events.
Absolutely.
So they're not actually on auction, but we'll show them there.
For sure.
Yeah.
So if you email me at malw@marathoncoach.com, I can give you a more detailed scope of the events that we'll be at that are open to the public.
Yeah.
I can get those from Pete.
Or if it's a private one, you could always meet them at a private event. We would just have to. We don't generally advertise those.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Send us some emails and we'll be able to give you more in-depth answers on some of these.
And then Jay, we also had somebody who wanted to know: does the coach have surround sound?
It does.
It's got awesome sound.
Yeah, up front we do surround sound. Back here we don't do surround sound. It's really not been a all that requested item. So we have a couple of speakers in the ceiling, but we've done surround sound. We've done full systems back here up front. When we get to the underbelly, we've got a little kicked up sound system down there. So yeah, it's a pretty nice system. And I think what I like about ours is we really integrated in. You won't see cube speakers hanging from the ceiling. Ours are custom designed, flush in the ceilings. Actually, in the corner of that, when we showed you the dinette, there was a subwoofer back in the back corner.
I saw that, yeah.
So it's when we do subwoofers back here, we put them underneath the bed. We've done sound bars. Again, if the customer requests it, we can pretty much do whichever that they would like to see.
Okay. So back here, you want to show us the audio visual?
This is our walk-in closet, and the extra height allows us to put a stack washer dryer back here. That's worked out really well. It utilizes the space and keeps it nice and open, so when you're loading and unloading the washer, there's lots of space. We talked about Crestron and our AV system and how this is the componentry rack that holds all that.
Pretty impressive.
And the nice thing with that remote control, the iPad, is the only time a customer really needs to even access this is to put a disc in one of the Blu-ray players.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, because the rest of the time, the interface is going to be through that iPad.
Sure.
We have some of our electrical components. We've shown those off in the past.
Let's show them.
Let's show them again because we're pretty proud of the electrical, and it's. Try not to talk while I'm ripping off the Velcro.
It's like
One, it makes serviceability really fast and easy, and
it's like a Jackson Pollock artwork. Look at that; it's so detailed.
I don't know how but the limited wiring I've worked with, I can't make the wires go that straight. It's
and everything's labeled, correct?
It is.
Now, this is one of the things that tells me the story of how Marathon pays a lot of attention to detail, puts a lot of time into an aspect that you just don't see.
We do. There's a lot of, and you'll see some of it in the underbelly too. Our philosophy is it needs to be the quality that you see visually without taking into account needs to be basically that quality behind the scenes as well.
Absolutely.
The coaches, it's a big investment, so we think it, well, one, from a service standpoint and a reliability standpoint, it certainly works better if the components are easily, well labeled, and the quality of the build is good.
Right.
So it's an important detail. I mean, that is in the DNA of Marathon since day one, was that the systems have to be robust. They have to have the same quality and have the same, the attention to detail that all the things that you see that are in front of you all the time. So our coaches are inspected. State of Oregon has one of the toughest RV codes in the country to build to. Some states don't even have any restrictions on how you can build a motorhome. Ours are inspected, so we have certain things that we have to meet, RV codes that we have to meet. So
okay, standards.
Part of that is getting the componentry, not only the quality but labeled properly, and
right.
It meets all the Oregon codes. So we think we have the safest coach in the industry, just because our construction standards are so rigid and our inspection standards are rigid. So
right. ASCO washer dryer.
ASCO washer dryer, nice compact unit.
Yeah, nicely hidden back there. Pocket doors also right here.
They are. Yeah, closes us off.
Should we close that door?
Sure. Now this is a double, one from each side configuration, but we also do telescoping, so they come out and they telescope out.
Okay.
So what that allows us to do is get larger openings with smaller space on the sides.
Gotcha.
A little bit thicker, but allows you to go all the way across. In some areas we've done openings as large as 54 inches.
Wow.
Which is for a motorhome, that's a pretty big opening.
Yeah.
But those doors, they telescope out, and it's really changed the way we're able to open up the coach, because we want the coach to be, it's kind of a contradiction. I need lots of storage, but I want it open, because storage means cabinets. So
yes. We
try and find that happy medium between openness, so it doesn't feel like you're so closed in with all this cabinetry, yet it's it's comfortable to live in, and it feels spacious, but still gives you the storage.
And I'm expecting Kirk, Spock, and McCoy to walk through the Star Trek doors.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, what else back here catches your eye?
We have the same ceiling panel back here as well, and I don't know if it's on this pad or one or the other, but we have
we've got the aquarium on this TV. Samsung's throughout.
Yes, we have special light. We light our backsplashes with a little accent light, which is nice. And as I mentioned, I don't know if that switches on this pad. Well, our TechLink electrical system, it's our patented computer network system. We can reprogram any switch to control any item in the system. So if, for instance, you have switch groups by the bed, we pick the switches that we think that the customer would need to use the most.
Sure.
But if it's for some reason we put, for instance, we put pocket door switches, so it'll close pocket doors. We've had it
so they're fully customizable.
Yes. We put locks back here to lock the front door,
something
that we wouldn't typically do, but we've had customers request that. Naturally, with a Crestron pad, an iPad, you can control everything.
Right.
But the switches are nice when you just need it just right now. I can hit the switch and that's if we turn off there, you get some ideas of how
really shows the rock work and the aquarium.
Yeah. Well, it's a display, so anything that you can think of that can be put in video format, you can put on there.
And more crocodile right here.
Yeah, I saw that the other day. I love that one. That one's really neat.
And we don't know where Al put the elephant yet. He's got a hidden elephant. An elephant in every coach, but we couldn't find it yet.
He challenged me. He said, I don't think anybody's ever going to find the elephant in this one. Wow. So the gauntlet's kind of been thrown down. And I haven't looked yet, but I know not to look in obvious spots, because it's not going to be in an obvious spot.
It's not going to be too obvious if he said that.
It's going to be pretty hidden.
So, one of my favorite features of every coach is theater mode. Can you show us the theater mode?
Well, I can try. So our iPad interface is new, and I haven't had a chance. We have training actually on Thursday.
So we go to Salon.
Okay, well, you've probably been through it.
And we go theater start.
There you go.
and boom. So what you're going to see here is the lights are going to dim slowly, all of the blinds are going to come down, and the TV monitor is going to come down and start whatever is in HDMI 1. And in this case, we've got the aquarium on HDMI 1. And then the lights all dimmed. And this is actually a lamp, so this would be a manual turn off. But that kind of illustrates theater. And then if you hit theater stop, we're gonna head up to the grocery store, we're gonna head to the country club, or go for our round of golf. So we're done, or we're gonna go for coffee in the morning. Just theater stop it, everything goes up. From the push of one button. Before we go out and check out the bays, is there anything else in here that you want to?
I think we've just about covered it.
Yeah.
It's been fun. It's been fun to watch this one come together with all the neat elements that Alan designed in.
It's a beautiful coach.
So.
Well, let's head outside and check out the bays.
Oh, one of the elements that I love is he put. Check out the finish
yeah,
on
I didn't
those
even see that.
handrails. It is really cool. You get used to shiny.
Yes.
And I've
seen wood tone.
This matte finish of wood grain really has a neat look to it. It's quite a bit different than a lot of the things we do, which I think blends well with kind of the earthy, prehistoric
Yes.
theme that was going through that.
Doorbell.
There you go.
All right. So bay 1.
So new for us on starting this model year is we redesigned the bays for what we think is improved aesthetics, bumped up the look, and improved the maintenance.
Okay.
So we have this is an actual luxury vinyl plank tile that we put on the floor.
Gosh, it
so
looks
it's
great.
It turned out really nice, and it's used as flooring, so it's used to the abuse. We have a kind of a carbon fiber, if you will,
Sure.
vinyl, which in our previous models would have been a trunk liner carpet.
Okay.
This wipes down really just super easy. Just wipe it down with a damp rag. And we covered all of our electrical, which typically would. So in the past, you've seen all the wiring and the boxes and all that. So we think it's a nice upgrade to just kind of make it all blend, kind of take the interior theme and
Very
kind of
nice.
transfer it to the bay. New racks, chair racks. So they're tucked up really high and tight. Provides a nice spot for them. Keeps them out of the storage. We also redesigned the way we did some of our electrical we got about 3 more inches of height in the bay by changing the way we did it to give the customers more cargo storage.
Yeah, this is a really clean cargo bay.
Yeah, we're
Not
very
in,
pleased.
there's a lot of room to put a lot of stuff in here.
Cargo rollouts are real popular, so a lot of customers we do motorized ones, so they don't have to actually climb in the bay to get
that's
their
nice.
equipment. But a lot of customers if you know the game Tetris, they can take all the store everything so a mouse can't even crawl through it. Some of them like that, so they can get a little bit more storage in there. And then on the X3, you get your second bay. We get about a half a bay.
These are nice.
Again, we had to add the chair racks, and we added storage lockers we provide extra material, so there's extra flooring in there if you were to damage some flooring. There's
Okay.
extra flooring. Actually behind is some more flooring. We have owner's manuals and all the literature that for all the components we put in. We catalog it all and put it in a nice organized locker storage, file storage, so they have access to the original owner's manuals and
I mean,
such.
yeah, you got to think you've got owner's manuals for everything from the dishwasher to the washer dryer to all the audio visual. So it's all in there. These are really nice because it's better than a bunch of cardboard boxes and it's very clean.
Dressed it up a bit. We have our multi-position ladder that gets customers that we do have customers that detail their own coaches, so they'll need to get up and clean the upper sections of the coach.
2 more chairs right here.
Yes.
Everybody's favorite bay right here, the aquarium.
The big aquarium, and that's a 49-inch Samsung TV, and it is on a swivel.
All TVs are smart TVs, right?
I believe so, yes. And we swivel it a couple of reasons. One, if the sun was shining directly in, you could swivel it to kind of get it out of the way of the sun.
Okay.
Plus, it also provides access to our plumbing components. So you've got your city water filter and a drinking water filter, water pumps, allows you to get quick access to those for changing out. A lot of customers may change their own drinking water filter,
right,
for instance. So that's right there, easy to get to.
Now, and we're able to put this TV in here. Is it because it's thinner now? They're thinner build?
Yeah, before these TV, that's a huge advantage to us from technology of these thinner TVs. God, it allows you to put them just about anywhere. And we'd have never had room to put it in front of it's in the plumbing bay.
Right.
So would have never had room to do that in the past. There's what I mentioned, there's the subwoofer.
There it is.
So there's a sound bar on the bottom of the television, and
so you're gonna have good sound down here on the patio.
And then there's that third remote control from the third iPad.
Gotcha.
And those are batteries, kind of don't get to see much, but this is kind of neat. We have a push button release that pops it loose. But for safety reasons, we put a cover on the bay, but you've got your inverter cutoffs there.
Before we move on, Jay, should we show them the awning?
Do it.
All right. So let's do curbside front. Basically from the Crestron enabled iPad, I selected curbside front. You can go all awnings, or you can select a separate one by itself. I'm just going to do curbside front and extend.
And some people might go, well, why wouldn't I just want them all to go out? Well, a lot of times you might be parked next to a building or a tree.
Absolutely.
Or a post.
They need to be independent.
And they need to be independent, so you can run them out as far as you want if you aren't clear, or you can hit the one button and run them all out.
So Jay, tell us about these awnings.
These are Girard awnings, and they're a 10-foot patio awning on this side, and a 5-foot window awning on the other side. But we do have customers that request patio awnings on both sides.
Okay. So 10 feet on this side.
10 feet on this side, 5 on the other. Okay. It can be 10 if they prefer.
Sure.
The LED lights have been really popular.
I love the LED lights.
Nice accent. You get the lights across the top, and then we have our LED under coach lighting on the bottom.
Yeah, that's great.
They complement each other really nice. These actually have the kick on them, so it helps with the sun. And they are on a motion sensor, so let's say the wind comes up, whereas in the past, we had little anemometers little things that spun.
On the older
once
versions.
the wind speed got to a certain level, it would bring the awnings in. Well, sometimes those would spin, but the awnings weren't actually getting wind. So now they're on a motion sensor, so as the wind blows and causes that awning to start to move, the sensor will bring the awnings in automatically. But they actually have to be moving, because sometimes it might pull all the awnings in when we had the anemometer because it sensed wind, but in this, it's only going to pull the awning in that happens
that's
to be
affected by the wind.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So it's a built-in safety feature.
Yes. Right.
Gosh, and they look great with those LEDs.
Well, and those are our custom caps. We're one of the few that do our own custom.
So those are not from Girard?
No, the ones on the front and the back are actually our fiberglass caps that we make and glass right on as part of the coach. A lot of others you'll see a seam where you can tell it was just bolted on. Ours is all glassed in, so it makes a continuous flow of the chassis. Most people would think that was just part of the Prevost chassis.
Right. Now, so there's 3 of these on board, correct?
Yes.
1 in the bay, 1 in the bedroom, 1 in the salon. And you can also get your iPhone integrated into it.
You can. So anywhere you have cell service in the world, you can operate the coach.
Wow, it's amazing.
That's been a really popular feature and something that people are integrating. Well, we're trying to build the coach and have it operate a lot like the customers' homes. And now the customers have smart homes.
Yes.
They can control things from anywhere they have cell service. So we want them to be able to control the coach the same way.
Right. Absolutely. Smart homes is the way. My son already knows how to play Bruno Mars on our Google Home.
Well, and the other nice thing about a lot of customers aren't where their coach is. If they travel a lot, you can log into your coach. There's a camera. You can check the inside, make sure everything's okay. So
That's great.
it allows you to keep tabs on your. Even though it's sitting still, you can still keep tabs on it.
It's a big fish.
It is.
Should we see the other side?
Sure. There's a couple more items. Just one thing I will point out: how that little slotted.
Yeah,
hole,
what is
that's
that?
the dryer vent.
Oh,
So, for an exterior vented dryer, really small. Several years ago, we used to have a cowling that came
Sure.
out, and we integrated in some interior one that keeps the footprint on the outside.
it's
as little
almost
as
a hidden
possible.
hole for venting that out. That's great.
And so, what's that hole?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is we have our two inverters. There's one behind this one, 4,000 watt inverters, and our stacked water heaters. We've been doing our stacked water heaters for, I think, since just about day one. Two 10.5 gallon water heaters, but the way they're configured gives you pretty much unlimited hot water.
That's great.
And the other nice thing is if one were to fail,
Right.
you still have hot water.
Okay, 'cause
It's
you have
not
two.
It's not a one and done. You can still fire up hot water even if one was to go bad. So it's kind of a nice. We like the redundancy. If you probably didn't notice, but for customers that know our coach, we have two water pumps
Right.
on the other side.
Right.
If one were to fail, you have a backup.
Okay. And you've got the integration of the flooring on
Yes.
this side also. So you
It's
got that
important
tied
for-
in.
Right, for maintenance, it's really important. It can be a wet area if something were to drip. Wipe it right up. Keep the vinyl too around the
And it looks good.
components. And this is the other side of our plumbing bay. And this laminate is new for us. Typically we've done the aluminum.
Okay.
The
On this
kind of a
surface right
patterned
here?
Aluminum, yes.
Okay.
And so this is a laminate, gives a different look, really makes the stainless components stand out.
It really does.
They're
It
not-
looks awesome.
It turned out really nice. And in keeping with the serviceability, the panels are hinged, allows access, tank sensors, and if for some reason the tank sensors weren't reading properly, you can actually see a visual water line on the tanks. Access to our Freedom Plus, our patented sewer hose, pre-connected sewer
Right.
hose system.
I like the backlighting here.
It's nice at night. I mean, you can. It also kind of works as a service light.
Absolutely.
If you were parked at night and running all your stuff out, it gives you a little bit more light to work from. And the little Crestron touchpad to do a few. It doesn't have the full control of one of the larger iPads.
You can look at your
but
tanks and
tank levels and run your awnings out if you were over here. Like if you were over here and you checked to make sure there was no trees or buildings.
so
or
you
something,
can control
put
your
it in.
awnings from this
Yes.
pad. So you can inch it towards the tree or inch it towards the building.
Right. That's great.
So you don't have to have that iPad with you to do the awnings. You do it over here.
Somebody might be using it to watch
That's
TV.
right.
And our generator compartment, a 20 kW Kohler generator, allows you to turn everything on in the coach.
And it's on a serviceable tray, so it can completely come out when it needs service.
It is.
Okay.
It really helps. If you have to work on that thing, it's nice to be able to roll it out. And you don't. We've had
Bet.
guys back behind there before. It's nice when it rolls out.
Yeah, you don't have to disrupt anything.
And we're back to the other side of the storage bay. And
That's a big bay.
you know, one thing people might wonder, this is part of what they call the Prevo beam. Those gussets allow a lot more room in the bay, because sometimes to create the structure to support a slide room,
Right.
a lot of times you have to put a beam through the bay, and that Prevo beam, those gussets allow just those small little supports in there. So, and it just made me think that customers might wonder what is that for? That allows them to do on a Prevo. There are no pins that hold the room in. You can actually take this room completely out and drive down the road. The structure does not rely on this room being in for structure.
Gotcha.
To maintain the structural integrity of the chassis. A lot of slide outs you'll see where they have, for the chassis to be strong enough to drive, they actually have pins that come in and engage in the room to recreate the full structure. Where
Right.
this, you could take the room completely out and drive it down the road.
It's independent of the actual structure of the
Yes.
Prevo coach. Wow. How many times you hit your head?
Couple.
You're experienced. 29 years now. You kidding me? Well, there it is. 1261. Jay, anything else you want to talk about this coach? It's pretty amazing. It's pretty beautiful.
I think we've covered it.
Anything coming up that you wanna tease us about or talk about?
Well,
without giving away any secrets?
There's one or two when I spoke about. Sometimes we'll hold on to items. Al spoke about he found that fossil that he wanted to hold on to for a few years. There's a couple items that I don't know yet if we're going to be able to do it, but they're on our radar. We want to do, and
cool.
So all I can say is tune in later. Have a couple of neat features that we'd like to get, but we want, like the shower. We want to make sure that it's
ready.
It's durable. It's ready. It's gonna hold up, stand the test of time. So there's a couple items coming up. And
Well, that's typical of Marathon Coach, always
there might
innovating.
be a new floor plan in there too.
A new floor plan, maybe.
It's on its way.
That's interesting. Well, anyway, thank you so much for all of your time today, and thank you for your patience. Thank you for all of your patience, because we had to do this twice today. Hope we didn't miss anything, but if we did, feel free to comment on the video, and I'll be accessing Jay all day, pretty much all week.
You know my number.
Absolutely. With any questions that people might have that we didn't cover or anything else, if you want to email, malw@marathoncoach.com. Thank you so much for your time. It's for sale. Marathon Coach 1261. It's a 2-slide. Come and get it. So
Ready for a new home.
yeah. Next week on Marathon Mondays with Mal, we've got some surprises for you. So tune in next Monday. I think we've got our Wi-Fi issue fixed, James. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe.
We'll work on it. Thanks to James Strecker, who's been on the video camera all morning. And for Pete Sutton and Jay Graham, thanks for your time. See you next Monday.